This is Tourism Ireland Nordics. That's where I'm sitting at the moment. My name is Sam Ford. I was a tour guide for 5 years in Dublin, and with us today we're delighted to have travel writer and photographer Simone Moelle, who's going to share some tips with us about her most recent trip to Dublin. And these are really, really excellent insider tips. Simona has a long-standing relationship with Ireland. She's not just there on this one occasion, she's there very, very often. So we're really excited to hear what she got up to and to offer us her best tips for when we travel again. So Simona, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I suppose first things first, how has the lockdown been for you?
It has been such a weird time, but in the end, I actually shouldn't complain because Denmark has been pretty, I wouldn't say relaxed, but we haven't been hit that hard compared to many other countries. So at least I've been able to travel around Denmark and kind of explore my own country, which is something I actually have never done before. And I think, but I mean, now I have kind of seen what there is to see from Denmark. So I'm really looking forward to go back into the world again when it is more safe than it is now.
When the time is right, as we say, God. And in Ireland, we're encouraging this staycation phenomenon as well. So it's quite a novelty. I was in West Cork and Kerry myself. It was great. So when exactly was it again that you travelled to Ireland?
So I was actually there twice last year, and I was there. I had quite a long stay during summer, or long. It was a week, 10 days or so, where I really got to see a lot of Dublin. And then I was actually also there over Christmas just to visit some family and experience some of that festive culture you have in Ireland, which is quite different to what you experience in Denmark, I'd say.
Okay, so you were over there for Christmas with family. Would this family have been, was this sort of the Danish Vikings that came to Ireland in 837, or what kind of family are we talking here?
Oh, so actually, I am married to so now you need to hang on here. So I'm married to a half British, half Turkish guy who has been living in Dublin for I want to say 7 years, and he also has some family there. So yeah, that's the story, and we try to go there at least once a year.
Oh, that's brilliant! Yeah. So that's your big Irish connection. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
If I may be so bold, how did you meet?
It was a typical love story, office romance. He had just got in from the plane from Dublin. He had moved to Copenhagen to pursue a career here. And he came into the same office building that I was sitting in. And then I guess the rest is history.
That's brilliant. I really enjoy that. So this recent kind of summer trip to Dublin, was it just the city centre, or did you venture a little bit outside at all, or?
So we spent most of the time in Dublin because I think there is a lot to see in Dublin, but also since it is such a beautiful nature you have just outside of Dublin, we actually got to go a little bit outside and visit the coastal town Hove, if I pronounce it correctly.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, and it's just, we don't really go by car because I think now that both of us haven't, I've never been in a country where you drive on the left side of the road, and he hasn't been doing that, so we just go by public transport, and it's so easy to get to Hove actually from Dublin.
I suppose the old driving on the left, people think it's scarier than it is, but I think you get used to it quite quickly. Yeah. But at the same time, like as you say, certainly with Dublin, you don't need to rent a car. There's great public transport.
No.
Howth, you got the Dart out, and that's great. And whereabouts were you staying in the city?
So we stayed at a very nice 4-star hotel called the Brooks Hotel, which is right in the city center. Really, really nice hotel, close to everything basically. When we're staying with family, we're staying in I can't remember the area. Maybe you can help me, but it's close to the Aviva Stadium.
Oh yeah, so sort of Donnybrook Ballsbridge. It's very nice out there.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
super nice, quite local. You have some nice bars and restaurants
Mm,
around
mm,
there as
mm.
well. So yeah.
And you can always play an international rugby match or whatever if you're so inclined.
You
Yeah.
can definitely go there to watch one, which I did once, and I will recommend everyone to do that.
Excellent. And would you say, like, you're talking about this sort of local experience, like Dublin's often voted like one of the friendliest cities in the world. Do you think that that's true in reality? What was your
Oh,
impression on that front?
yeah. I actually talked to my husband about it, and I think what really strikes us every time we go to Dublin, the friendliness is already appearing when you have the conversation with the taxi driver. Like, people are so friendly there, and I think you can really judge a country by the taxi drivers. They're just super friendly. You They know your life story, you know their life story, and then you're in Dublin, and then the friendliness continues all the way through. The waiters, and you meet people on the street, on pubs, and it's just a very, very nice and positive atmosphere.
And they often give you like even food and drink recommendations, like the taxi driver.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd say taxi drivers, they probably know more than me. They probably have some good recommendations.
And obviously, as we've said, you've been coming to Dublin for many, many years now. But what was your impression of Irish food before you came, and then what was the reality? Because it's something that really interests me, is
Mm,
people's impressions on that front.
yeah, I think it's I don't really know if I had a a specific idea in my head, but I would say that the whole potato and gravy kind of stocky
Yeah.
food, and you can definitely find that as well. And I
Yeah.
think also when you go, you have to try some of that food. I mean,
Comfort
I
food.
fell in comfort food. I
Yeah.
fell in love with an Irish fryer, which is
Oh,
a little
so
bit
nice. Yeah.
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 So that's the first thing I have to get every time I go. But that being said, and even from when we started coming to now, the food culture is just evolving all the time, and you can basically in Dublin get any cuisine. I myself try to eat a little bit plant-based
Oh, yeah.
now
Yeah.
and then, and you
Like
also have a
this behind me here.
yeah, I eat
If
that
you
as
were in the
well.
office
Yeah.
now, we'd have to keep you away from that. You'd be
Exactly,
chomping away. Yeah.
yeah. But when I can get those types of plants, I'll try and find a restaurant or a cafe, and I think also that cuisine is just kind of it's growing in Dublin as well.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is there's something for everyone basically, and it's so tasty.
What would your top 3 restaurants in Dublin be then, in that case?
Mm,
Maybe that's tough, but
it's tough. I actually have to give you 4
aha.
recommendations.
Okay.
So I would start my day at Junior's, close to the Aviva Stadium. Have an Irish fry up, or they have also a nice Mexican breakfast, which is really good, and it's such a cozy place. And then you need to maybe have an early dinner at either Hang Dai or 777, which is Hang Dai is a Chinese, really cool artsy restaurant that kind of looks like a little techno train.
Oh,
Sounds
yeah.
weird, and it is weird, but the food is amazing. The vibe is amazing. 777 is probably the best Mexican food I've had in Europe, which says a lot. And
That's high praise.
but it's true.
Yeah.
And then they're just playing pumping house music, good margaritas, good food. I mean, what more can you ask for? My 4th recommendation is Forest Avenue, which is more of a fine dining experience. And I actually went in there not really knowing what to expect, but it was 12 courses, if I'm not mistaken. And what I mean, every course was amazing. I was so full. The place is just really high-end, luxurious, and it's a place that you would maybe start a good date, or even propose to someone. It's just a really good experience.
Well, I've not been on a date there, but I did bring my father there for his birthday
Oh,
once.
well.
Yeah, and it was, lots of little plates. I was kind of thinking, oh, we'll never get full on this, but actually it all adds up, and then by
Yeah,
the end it's like the perfect level of everything. No, I agree. I was
uh,
so impressed with it as well myself. So
it's
I
yeah,
fully endorse that recommendation, definitely.
yeah. And you need to come with an empty stomach, right? Because as
Oh
you say,
God,
you
yeah,
don't think you get full, but
yeah.
in the end, you are rolling home.
That's quite an image. And did you ever roll into a seafood restaurant? Did you try any seafood while you were in Dublin?
Yes, I actually did, and that was also something that surprised me. How you have such a I don't know if you can say it's a vibrant
Mm,
seafood
mm,
scene,
mm.
but you have some really good seafood. The one place I went to that's really recommendable is the Seafood Cafe by Niall Sabungi, and it's also in the city center. They have you know just an abundance of seafood. The prices
Mm,
are
mm.
really good, at least from a Danish standpoint. And I mean, it says a lot when you have a waiter that brings out a flame torch to start and then flame your oysters. And
So a bit of theatre
that
as well, bit of street theatre thrown in.
it is,
Yeah, yeah.
and just yeah, so tasty.
Mm. And did you get time to soak up any kind of culture then, apart from all this wonderful food? Um,
Yes, yes. So first and foremost, I think going to Dublin, the pubs are also definitely some culture that you need to experience in
mm,
one
mm,
way or
mm.
another, because that's definitely how you also get to know the people and how the culture are amongst the locals.
Yeah.
But that being said, we actually also went and did some proper cultural things.
Mm, mm, mm.
We went to the Trinity College, and
Oh yeah,
now having watched Normal People, which was a massive success
yeah.
in Denmark, it was
So good.
really fun to watch the TV show and say, oh, I've been there to the library, and yeah, so we went there, and then the Natural History Museum. But
Yeah.
that was also because my husband, he went there as a child, so it was
Ah, yeah,
fun
yeah.
for him to go back and watch that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, Trinity actually, they've experienced a big increase in their admissions because so many people saw
Oh,
Normal People and said, I want to go there for
yeah,
university.
yeah.
So,
Oh, and there was already a lot of people there last year, so I'd say it's
mm, mm, mm.
just growing and growing. But what a TV show!
Yeah. And what about any other elements of Irish culture that you soaked up?
Well, I went to the Guinness storehouse
Ah,
as
yeah.
well, and
Mm, mm,
I mean that's definitely something you need to go and experience
mm.
once you are there. I don't know if I'm the last person in the world that didn't know that the Guinness Museum is also the ones that made the Guinness Books of Records.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so and I
A
think
genius
you know.
PR move. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So, but you know, even if you don't drink beer, there's still so much history also
Mm,
at the
mm,
museum, and I think so. So even from that standpoint, it's actually also a good place to bring the whole family,
yeah.
and then. If you're going there with your spouse or a good friend, I would definitely go to. They have a little beer tasting that you can
Oh, yes. Yeah.
and that definitely also, if you're a beer lover, then that will really give you a good understanding of Guinness beer, and then you can go up to the great restaurant or bar at the top, and then you have the most beautiful view over the city. So
They've actually expanded as well since you've last been there, so it's even bigger,
oh
the view, like, and the kind of surface area.
oh
It's really lovely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, no, that's a must. That's a must
And
see.
So you're not a big beer drinker. So then, did you try any whiskey at all when you were in Dublin?
Yes, yes. I mean, I think the Guinness is an acquired taste, and over the years, I've started to
You've acquired it.
actually, I've started to learn to like it. So when I start to learn to love it, maybe in a few years. But
Yeah.
that, as you say, there is also a lot of whiskey distilleries around the Guinness Museum, and the one we went to that I think is also the newest one is the Rowan Co.
Yeah.
Whiskey distillery, and it has, compared to at least the photos I've seen, this is a very modern place to go. They have a really cool bar in the floor plan, and then you also get to see the distillery with the big, I don't even know, it's not rose gold, copper, where they kind of
the pot stills.
the pot
Yeah.
still, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, also hear the story of how whiskey is created, and yeah, so
It's a
so that's,
stunning building as well. I've not been, but
yeah,
on the strength of your recommendation, I think I'll go the next time. It's
I think you
just
have
this
to.
lovely red brick. Yeah, I'll definitely have to go now. You've convinced me. I suppose one of the other things you can actually see from the roof of Guinness is what we call the green lungs of Dublin, which is the Phoenix Park. Did you go
Yeah.
there, or did you give that a miss? Or
No. I think if you go there in the summer, that is definitely a must to go to Phoenix Park, which is a massive park. I didn't know it was so big. I think you can actually spend the whole day there. Um, I know there is a zoo there. I know there are also all other areas with other. I think it's a museum or something like that. But we went there just to relax. We brought some food, bought some ice cream, and we went to feed the little deers. There are a
you're
lot of
feeding ice cream to the deer?
no. I wouldn't do that. Just a little grass, a little grass.
Yeah, they like that.
Yeah,
They're
they do.
yeah, they're plant based as well.
They are like me almost.
Yeah.
But I think again, if you want to experience Dublin, you know, like a local, it's a really good place to go and just hang around. Maybe bring a little picnic basket or something like that, and spend the day if the weather allows it.
Sure, yeah. And did you get out to the sea at all? You mentioned Howth actually.
Yes,
So
yes,
tell
yes,
us a little
I
bit
did.
about Howth.
Well, so Hope is this little, I want to say cute, but that's maybe not the right word to use.
Yeah.
But it's a little fisherman town, and I think when you go get off the train, there is a little food market. So if you start your day fairly early or around lunchtime, I would definitely recommend you to go there, have some lunch, and then just there are like signs where you can follow the signs, and then you have a very nice hike
Oh yeah.
around the coast. And no matter how good you are with the
Yeah.
exercising, then you know there are routes that fits you. So I think we
Yeah.
did I want to say it was a 3 hour hike.
Oh, that's the kind of intermediate
Yeah,
one. That's pretty good because there's the
that
easy one
that
that's like an hour or an hour and a half. The
yeah.
intermediate one
That
that
was
you did,
impressive.
and then
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
like a 6.5 hour one called the Bog of
yeah.
Frogs. That's only for the, you know, the intense hikers.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. Maybe next time.
Yeah. I suppose, God, the only thing I didn't ask you about was shopping.
Yes,
Can
yes.
is there good shopping in Dublin, or should you leave the credit card at home? What do you think?
No. Bring it. Definitely bring it. I think the shopping scene is really good, and by some miracle, there's always a sale going on whenever I'm there. Lucky for me, not the. I don't think my husband would say the same, but I would start on Grafton Street, which is
Yeah.
a long pedestrian street where you have all the well-known high street shops, and you also have Brown Thomas, which is a big, or yeah, it's a big shopping mall. and there you find all the more high-end brands. On the side streets on Grafton Street, you can find the more small shops, the more niche shops,
Mm-hmm.
and you can also find some of the really good secondhand shops. And the one I went to is called Siopalia, I think is how you
Oh,
pronounce it.
Shuppa Ella, yeah.
Okay.
Siopaeile. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And there you find some really good more high-end luxury secondhand things. So yeah,
Excellent.
just knock yourself out, spend the day around Grafton Street.
Yeah.
That's definitely my recommendation for shopping.
Well, that's brilliant. Thanks so much, Simona, for joining us and for sharing those great tips. I'm sorry now that we didn't quite get to do it fully live, but we hope that people will tune in regardless, and we will include those links for anybody, to all the places that you mentioned. And yeah, just thanks so much. And how can people keep up with you if they want to keep up to date with all your latest developments? What do they need to do?
So as I'm said at the moment, I'm not really traveling that much. But if people want to follow me, they can follow me on Instagram, where I'm really active, on Simone Moelle. Hopefully soon, when we will go to Ireland, and I need to go on that road trip because I need to see more of the countryside now, and write a new blog post, because I'm also available on my blog, where you can also find some tips and tricks to Dublin.
And what's the blog again?
It is simonemoelle.dk.
Brilliant. Yeah. Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Simone, and we'll see you again. Hashtag dream now, travel later. Hashtag fill your heart with Ireland. Curamila Mahagriv agus Slán agus Banach Liv Galer. Thank you.